Paris, 1925. A man in a tailored suit stands quietly at the foot of the Eiffel Tower. He lights a cigarette, watching the Iron Giant stretch into the gray morning sky. To everyone else, it's a symbol of France. To him, it's an opportunity. Within days, he'll sell this monument, not as a dream, but as scrap metal. And he'll make a fortune doing it. The con was bold, absurd, and perfect. And the strangest part? He would do it again. This is the story of Victor Lustig, the man who sold the Eiffel Tower twice. A city of smoke and jazz, of broken pride and fading gold. The Great War had ended, but its scars remained, etched not on walls but in the eyes of those who survived. Amid this fragile optimism stood a monument no one quite knew what to do with, a tower of steel that had outlived its purpose. It was meant to be temporary, built for the 1889 World's Fair, a beacon of progress that Paris was ready to forget. And yet, one man saw in it something else, an opportunity. Because in a world built on trust, the greatest con is not stealing money, it's stealing belief. The 1920s in Paris were an age of reconstruction and quiet corruption. Government ministries shuffled money through back channels, businessmen traded favors in smoke-filled cafes, and the public had grown accustomed to stories of scandals that never led anywhere. In this atmosphere, even the impossible could sound plausible. Rumors began circulating that the Eiffel Tower, costly to maintain and never universally loved, might soon be dismantled and sold for scrap metal. It was the kind of story people believed because they wanted to believe it. Plausible, bureaucratic, quietly tragic. A perfect storm. A city ready to fall for the right lie, told by the right man. Lustig wasn't a thug or a thief. He was a gentleman, a craftsman of deceit. Born in Austria-Hungary, fluent in multiple languages, educated, graceful, and disarmingly calm, he didn't steal through force, but through confidence. In fact, he called himself a confidence artist, one who sells belief before selling anything else. He once wrote his own 10 Commandments of the Con Man. Among them, be a patient listener. It is this, not fast-talking, that gets a con man his prey. Never boast. Let others do it for you. Never look bored. Every rule crafted not for manipulation, but for trust. To Lustig, the art of the con wasn't about money. It was about control. The thrill of making people believe what they wanted to be true. When you sell a man something, he said, you create a customer. But when you sell him a confidence, you create a friend. In the spring of 1925, Lustig arrived in Paris under a new identity, Deputy Director General of the Ministry of Posts and Telegraphs. He rented a suite at the Hôtel de Crillon, one of the most luxurious in the city, and sent letters to 5 of France's richest scrap metal dealers. Each invitation bore the government's official seal. They were summoned to a confidential meeting. There, Lustig announced that the government had decided to dismantle the Eiffel Tower, due to the high cost of maintenance. The iron, he said, would be sold to private buyers, quietly, to avoid public outcry. He presented forged documents, stamped and signed. He spoke with such authority that no one dared question him. A few days later, one of the businessmen, André Poisson, took the bait. Poisson was ambitious, eager to prove himself among Paris's elite. He agreed to the sale, paid a substantial deposit, and awaited confirmation. By the time he realized he had been deceived, Lustig was gone, vanished with the money on a train bound for Vienna. The police never received a complaint. Poisson was too ashamed to admit he'd bought the Eiffel Tower, The perfect crime, Lustig would later say, is not the one that hides the truth, it's the one that hides the victim's pride. Weeks later, newspapers whispered about the scandal that never became official. The story was too absurd to be believed, too humiliating to be proven, and Lustig knew that. Months later, he returned to Paris to try it again. He repeated the same con. New letters, new buyers, new government seal. But this time, one of his marks grew suspicious and contacted the police. Lustig fled just in time, disappearing into the shadows of Europe once more. By then, he had already achieved what every con man dreams of, to become legend while remaining a ghost. Eventually, Lustig crossed the Atlantic. In America, he reinvented himself, this time as a financial wizard. He sold money-printing machines to wealthy investors, complete with counterfeit $100 bills that emerged slowly from the slot. He even conned the infamous gangster Al Capone, earning his respect by returning a fake investment, a con within a con. But no illusion lasts forever. In 1935, the FBI caught him in New York after years of pursuit. He tried to escape from a moving train during transport to prison, but failed. He spent his final years at Alcatraz, inmate number 300. When he died in 1947, the line under occupation on his death certificate read, "Salesman." Victor Lustig didn't invent deception. He perfected it. He proved that trust is not given to the honest, but to the believable. His story isn't just about a man who sold the Eiffel Tower. It's about all of us. Our desire to believe in something too good to be true. Our longing for shortcuts, miracles, and meaning. Today, the tower still stands. Its iron bones outlast every lie ever told about it. But somewhere beneath its shadow lingers a truth older than steel. A con is only as strong as our need to believe it. Paris moves on. The city forgets. But the story remains. A monument not of metal, but of human nature. We build towers to touch the sky, and illusions to protect our pride. We laugh at the man who sold the Eiffel Tower, and never realize we might have bought it too.